2:30, we got Texas Tech traveling to West Virginia. West Virginia favored by 7 points on ESPN2. Texas Tech started the season very good. 38-21 win over Houston. Houston being a very good football team. And then they ended up having a 28-22 stinker against SFA, but they were able to pull it out in the end. Then they ended up having an awesome 54-21 win over Florida International. The game was a lot closer at the beginning, but regardless. And they ended up having a horrible 70-35 win against Texas. So if the rules hold out the same, you started with a very good win against Houston, and then a disappointing game, very good game, disappointing game. This game was impressive for Texas Tech. Henry Colombi ended up taking over for Tyler Shuck last week after he went down with an injury. Broken collarbone, so this is likely that was it for Shuck this season. Henry Colombi is now their starting quarterback. He ended up going 17-23 in the game, 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Not bad for a guy just thrown into the action. So Roderick Thompson ended up having 16 carries, 54 yards. Texas mainly focused on making them pass the ball with their QB. And Kalen Geiger ended up having 5 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown. West Virginia, on the other hand, has been an interesting football team. If they win their one-possession games outside of the Virginia Tech one, which they did win, 3 of their games have been one possessions. They've lost 2 of them. If they win those games, they are an undefeated West Virginia team. We're looking at them as the top 20, top 15 kind of team. They had a just demoralizing loss, 30-24 against Maryland, at Maryland, to be fair, at the beginning of the season. And they ended up having a good bounce-back game, won 66-0 against Long Island, and then they ended up getting a 27-21 win against then number 15 Virginia Tech. So this is an interesting West Virginia team, and then obviously they lost last week 16-13 against number 4 Oklahoma at Oklahoma. Jarrett Doeg did not have a good game. Really, he ended up going 28-29, threw for 160 yards, and threw a pick. The pick is likely a lot to determine that game because can't have turnovers in a close game like that. Letty Brown was kind of shut down on the ground, ended up having 15 carries for 66 yards. And Bryce Ford Wheaton ended up having 8 catches for 93 yards. So West Virginia's got to be more productive through the air and on the ground in this game against Texas Tech, but luckily Texas Tech's defense is not very good this year. Texas Tech is 4-6 against West Virginia all time, but the last 2 have gone Texas Tech's way. I think this is going to go West Virginia's way. In my opinion, you're bringing in a brand new QB against a West Virginia defense that takes their job very seriously in getting after the QB. It's going to make them uncomfortable, and I think this is going to be West Virginia's game to easily take.